Hey, what's going on, guys? Dino Gomez here. Welcome to another episode of Dynamic 365. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why you absolutely must have a PBN if you're going to remain competitive in SEO. Alright, so PBN stands for Private Blog Network. You absolutely have to have one if you're going to contend today in the SEO space. Alright, so let's get into the top 3 reasons why you must have a PBN. We'll get there in just a moment here after this.
This is Dynamic 365 with Dino Gomez.
So, reason number 1 you must have a PBN is that you have to have one in order to compete in more competitive niches. Alright, so I just said that word compete a lot right there, but seriously, you have to have a PBN if you're going to be able to, if you're going to have a chance of getting your site or your client's site to the first page of Google. Okay, so starting at the very beginning here, very at the beginning. If you think about it, the first thing you want to do is you want a competitor scout, okay? So once you're looking at keywords for a potential client, you should be going to the first page of Google, you should be looking at those sites over there, and then you should be looking at the inbound link profile to the websites on page 1 of Google. And you got to figure out exactly what type of link juice, what it's going to take to also rank on the first page of Google. Okay, so when you're doing this competitive research, you might notice that some of those websites on page 1, they might have links from local newspapers, local magazines. They might have gotten published on a big media source like Forbes or the Wall Street Journal. And if that's the case, your client is also going to have links from those same types of quality sites, those same newspapers, and they're also going to have a link from Wall Street Journal or Forbes if you're going to contend and also steal a first page ranking. Okay, so that leaves you with 2 options. Either one, you can go out and get your client also published in the Wall Street Journal, or also in Forbes, or also in all the same newspapers. All right, but that's going to do what? That's going to require a lot of work from you, and it can't always happen. All right, sometimes it requires a lot of money, between $500 and a couple $1,000s to be published in some of the major online newspapers. So if that's not in your client's budget, if that's not in your budget, that's really not an option. And then it also requires a degree of networking. Sometimes you can't even pay enough money to get into a site like Forbes. They literally only do it if you have enough legitimacy built up and enough expertise built up in your particular subject matter. So you might not even be able to do that if you had all the money in the world. Alright, so that leaves us with the second option, which is to build high powerful PBN links to your client's site. Alright, so that's reason number 1 why you must have a PBN, is you got to have one in order to compete in more competitive niches and also get your client to the first page. Alright. Reason number 2 you want to have a PBN is besides just ranking your client's site or your own site, you want to rank on the first page of Google videos. And you want to rank third-party properties, social media accounts. If you were publishing an article or another blog wrote about you or your services or your client's services, by using PBN links and linking over to those blog articles or to your social media accounts, you can actually rank those on the first page of Google as well. Alright, so it's a great way to rank other third-party properties using PBN links. It's also a twofold strategy, because when you do link to a third-party property like a Twitter account, that Twitter account is linked back to your client's profile. So in a roundabout way, you're passing link juice to the Twitter account back to your client's website, and so it's actually going to still give a search engine optimization boost. It's still going to give an SEO boost to your client's site, and then on top of it, that Twitter account, that YouTube video might also start ranking on its own on the first page of Google. Alright, so it's just a great way to rank other web properties. And then the third reason you got to have a PBN is that it's actually a great client getting tool. Alright, so one of my favorite things to do is I go to the second page of Google and I contact a couple website owners there, and I tell them that I'm going to I'm going to give them risk-free SEO, and then I'm going to bump their website from page 2 to page 1 of Google. And then if I do so, I tell them that we're going to enter a contract where they'll be paying monthly to maintain SEO services, and that I'll also provide on-site SEO services and conversion optimization. We'll do other strategies and stuff to help them get leads to their website, maybe some targeted ad placements of Facebook ads. But it's a great client getting strategy because I tell them I'm going to bump their website to page 1, and then all it really requires on my end is using my PBN to build a couple links. And you got to strategically use anchor text, a certain anchor text ratio, and you got to build the links a certain amount of time apart. But doing so, I almost always knock them to the first page of Google, and then boom, we're automatically in a contract. They absolutely love it because it's risk-free to them, and I love it because it requires minimal effort, money, and time from me in order to sign them and prove my legitimacy as an SEO expert. All right, so those are the 3 reasons why you must have a PBN. Really all comes down to just being competitive today because all major companies, everybody is utilizing this strategy and this technique. All right, so you got to get caught up, you got to get into it as well. Be sure to check out our other video. What we're going to talk about are the top 5 ways to safeguard your PBN. All right, we have some really, really awesome strategies here that not many other SEOs are talking about that we've been using to make sure our PBNs are 100% safe and that there's zero chance of getting penalized using PBN link building. All right, so be sure to check out that video. Until next time, we'll see you here at Dynamic 365.